called Matchlock. See those things hanging down over their chest? That's their powder trophy.
I think he wondered if it was drawn by the character in the gun
The gun.
The gun show, I know. Most people over there yell gun show, but he was going like this.
That show was nice.
Yeah, but they always have to. Because you're just floating. Set your piece! Have a chair! Give fire!
Musket demonstration! I love that part.
It's okay to come and watch the promise we're going to show you. Yep.
One, two, three.
Wonderful applause. Can we keep this? Yes, this is the musket demonstration which you have before you, the squadron of musketeers. If you look at these musketeers and think musketeers, can anyone tell us what's missing from their kit? What don't they have that you might think they have? Close. Think longer. Very good. Swords. Now, unlike those fancy French gentlemen that everybody knows, these fellas aren't gentlemen. Nor have they been trained in the use of the sword since they were this big. I've taken them out of their fields, out of their shops, and said, "You're going to be a soldier." And they said, "Huh?" I have 2 short weeks to train them to be musketeers, not swordeteers. So, I'm not going to focus on anything else. They will be given this. They will use it as a tool. It'll be their hammer. It'll be their roasting spit. They use it to cut firewood. They actually won't use it in combat because, when turned over, this weapon makes a very fine club. It's also longer than any sword. We are using a matchlock musket, called a matchlock because of the piece of burning cord they have in their hand. This is a cotton or hemp rope that's been dipped in saltpeters, and when dried, burns very hot and very slowly. It's a very easy weapon to use. There are only 21 steps in the loading and firing of this weapon. The first is they will handle their piece. They will then open their pan and clean out their pan. You always know a good musketeer because his thumb is black. They'll then handle their primer and prime their piece, pouring a small amount of fine gunpowder in that pan there, that little dish. They will then close their pan. Because they have that very nice hot coal in that match, we need to make sure this gun is safe. They will cast off loose corns and blow off loose corns, corns being another name for the grains of gunpowder. They will then cast about the piece, because it gives them access to the muzzle. They'll then handle their charge. They all went for the wooden bottles across the chest there. Each one of those wooden bottles is a pre-measured amount of gunpowder. Why is it pre-measured? Farmers from the field. The less thinking they have to do, the safer and easier my job is. So they will then charge their piece. At this point, if they were loading a lead ball, which they are not today, they would be taking it from the pouch at their side, or more often just spit one down the barrel because they've been carrying it around in their mouth. They don't understand the dangers of lead poisoning in this day and age, and it's much easier to spit one out in your hand or down the barrel than have to fiddle around in that pouch looking for one, especially when someone is shooting at you. So, they will then withdraw their scouring stick, ram home their charge, seating everything good and tight down at the bottom. They will then recover their scouring stick and replace it. Very important step. Don't get me wrong, you can fire it, it makes an excellent projectile. It's a rather awkward weapon, however. The awkward part is having to go across the battlefield and ask for it back. So we make sure we replace it. So they will then recover their piece, take forth their match and blow it well, getting all the ash off, make sure the coal's good and hot. You may see it glow orange there. They will then cock and try their match, placing it in the jaws of the serpentine and working the mechanism to ensure that it's going to hit the proper place in the pan. It is at this point that they are ready to fire, so I shall turn them in a safe direction. Musketeers, by the right hand, wheel about the center. Now wait for the command to present your piece. Have a clear, give, fire. Now, good musketeers are expected to be able to perform all those actions 3 times in a minute. Now, obviously, they can't do that while I'm standing there saying, open your pan, close your pan, and all that. That's where my job gets even easier. All I need to say is, musketeers, make ready your piece. They do what they do best, and I just get to sit back and enjoy the view.
Come back tomorrow.
Not a bad showing today, not bad. Present your piece. Give fire. Musketeers, make ready your pieces. Now, through all that drill, you notice the butt of the weapon never touches the ground. This is very important because musketeers are expected to be reloading while on the move. Because they're actually not just 2 lines of musketeers in battle, firing at each other till one side decides to run away. They're actually supporting a very heavily armored infantryman called a pikeman. A pikeman is called a pikeman because he carries an 18-foot-long spear. It's just the musketeer's job to make sure that pikeman can get into hand-to-hand combat. Therefore, the musketeer needs to be able to keep up a rate of fire while still keeping up with the pikeman. To do that, we do what's called fire by advance. You imagine 3 more musketeers behind each of these, a total of 16. The rear rank will be called to the front. They will then fire a volley like you've just seen. The new rear rank will come to the front and do the same. All the while, once they fire, they will immediately begin to reload because the pikeman has his pike, a charge pike, and he's slowly advancing steadily towards the enemy. We'll show you what that looks like now. Musketeers, by the left hand, double your rank. Rear rank, advance to the fore. Present your piece. Give fire. Rear rank, advance to the fore. Present your piece. Give fire. Musketeers, face your body by the left hand. By the left hand, double your fire. Musketeers, salute! Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your kind attention. In a few short seconds, the matches will be out. The weapons will be safe. If you want to come up, take a closer look, ask any questions, please feel free to do so.